Welcome back to the program. Let's get to our political panel, and joining me is former Liberal Senator, Principal of Zed Advisory, now Zed Seselja, and former Labor Advisor, now with Premier State, Darren Barnett. Gentlemen, great to see you both. Zed, first of all to you, the Committee on the Voice to Parliament initially weren't going to hear from Tony Abbott, which surprised me. They came to their senses. They did hear from him, regardless of whether you agree with him or not. Former Prime Ministers, at the very least, deserve to have their voice when it comes to things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think part of the debate that we've seen around the voice has been whether both sides would get a proper airing, and there's been a lot of debate about what kind of information the community should get and the public would get. But I think it was absolutely the right call for the committee to change their initial decision and allow Tony Abbott to make his case. I thought he made a pretty forceful case. I did tune in to that evidence earlier on this afternoon, and you know, I think it's an interesting time in the debate for the voice. I think we are seeing those numbers tighten in the polls. I think there's a number of different polls saying a lot of different things, but we are seeing them tighten. But I think it's fair to say that it is the yes case to lose. They do start with a stronger vote in favour. I was really interested with the initial ads of both sides. The yes case seems to shy away from the details. The no case through Jacinta Price really making a bit of an emotional case about how the voice might divide one Australian from another, even within families. So I thought the no case ad was the more compelling of the two to start with, but long way to go, and those polls are tightening. But as I say, I think yes is in front at the moment. Yep,
Darren Barnett, that was certainly, there was an optimism there from Noel Pearson. He said he's looking forward to the day of the referendum, probably October, it looks like the most likely date. Darren, what's your sense of it, where the momentum is right now?
I think we're still in the early rounds, really, that we don't quite know what the final cases are going to be. They're obviously beginning to roll them out. The committee gave Tony Abbott a free kick, really, by initially refusing to have him appear. He is a very good media operator. He milked it for what it's worth. But what he has said is fairly predictable. I think in a lot of ways the yes case won't be too troubled if Tony Abbott is one of the loudest voices in the no camp. We all know what he stands for. We've had an era of Tony Abbott as opposition leader and Prime Minister. I think it'll be other voices that sway more voters in that undecided category. It was encouraging that all states and territories that things are currently above 50%, but as Zed pointed out, there's plenty of undecideds and there is plenty to go in this debate before we get a clear idea of who's going to win.
And I think on that, Darren, I think that's right. I think the undecideds, none of the polls so far have sort of really tried to push where the undecideds will go. I know there's some that sort of take those out and you get 60-40 results in favour of yes, but that is a big sleeper as to where those undecideds are going to go. In fact, that's really the main game. And I agree with your analysis. I think it's early days, but I think there's a lot of uncertainty over these next couple of months.